So I'm back from vacation. As you can see, I am in my usual set, which you guys have been seeing for a while now. But I spent the last month and a half with my family, which was really great. Sometimes you take those things for granted, just taking a few weeks off and getting to be, in your own house every now and then, just getting to unwind a little. But I've gotten back now, and I figured I'd catch up on a few things that I missed while I was on vacation. And this was one of the major misses for me so far, and so let's get into it. Nosferatu is, of course, an adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and here we're following Ellen and Thomas Hunter, played by Lily Rose Depp and Nicholas Hoult, who are being haunted by Count Orlok, played by Bill Skarsgård, who seems to be infatuated with Ellen, and is doing anything to get to her and will do anything, even if it means having a plague descend upon the world and killing everybody in its wake, unless he is able to have her love. Robert Eggers is a director whose corner I've been for a while now. I think all of the stuff that he has done is really, really great, and I have been a huge champion of his work, especially the stuff that he just made with stuff like The Lighthouse and The Northman. I thought he did an excellent job with them, and of course The Witch is really, really great as well. And so naturally there was a lot of excitement going into Nosferatu. I was very curious to see what else he would do. And having seen it, I think he is continuing on his unbroken streak over here because I really love the movie. I think he did a fantastic job of adapting it, and I think he does a really good job of taking the material and giving his own spin on it. And I think that's something that is important because you could say that there are things happening over here that you have seen before in previous adaptations or just within the material, and that there are some things where it's doing a lot of the same things, but it's also about how it's done. And I think that at the end of the day, when it comes to storytelling, that's also something that I feel is very important. It's about how a storyteller is proceeding to play those sequence of events out. And I think what Eggers does is bring his own flair to it in a very extraordinary way, especially when it comes to the visual tendencies of Nosferatu. This is a gorgeous movie with some of the best cinematography of, I guess, last year now. Again, I'm sorry this review is late, but I think he did an incredible job of making it feel as nightmarish and ghoulish as imaginable, and just to be able to create some of those moments with Orlok and his castle, or just those low lighting moments where all you have is a distant flame or just about, a little hint of moonlight. Just making those moments feel as unnerving as they can, with a great score over it as well. Once again, he manages to excel when it comes to those aspects. That's something that he has done very well across his movies, and once again, just setting up that atmosphere and tone is really, really great. And it also helps that he's got some great performances at the helm of it. Lily Rose Depp in particular, I have seen her in a bunch of stuff now. This is easily my favorite performance of hers. She is doing extraordinary work over here, and I think it's some of the best of her career, absolutely so. She has a lot to work with, especially towards the latter half of the movie when things are really ramping up, when that, that grip of Orlok is nearing her more and more. And as she's beginning to react to it, and as the nightmares that she's having become more and more visceral, her physical reactions become more and more visceral, and even those are captured incredibly. She's fantastic in this movie. Nicholas Hoult is also really, really great here as Thomas, and especially when he has to deal with some of the stuff that Orlok is doing, it's really effective stuff, and I have a lot of praise to give to him as well. And speaking of Orlok himself, honestly, if you hadn't told me, if I didn't know, that is, that it was supposed to be Bill Skarsgård as Orlok, I would have never known until the finale of the movie. Because there's no way you can tell that that's Skarsgård. And this is coming from the same guy who played Pennywise. Like, when you see him in the It movies, that time it was this thing of, you can't recognize him. It's crazy. But I think he's even more unrecognizable here, because there are just these moments, even with close-ups with him, where you have to sort of squint through and you go, that's Bill Skarsgård. Would never have known. The voice, especially, that he's working with is this really, it's this low tone, like thing that he has, and it's just yeah, it's booming at times. The theater that I saw it in had like Dolby systems and all that, so it was just this much louder experience at times, and every time he spoke, like the bass levels were really raised, which was really cool. Of course, this is a scary movie, and the horror scares are in here. There are some genuinely haunting moments of imagery, some stuff that's done with rats as well, which is very, very disturbing. And again, the movie definitely manages to create that grotesque feeling in you. There are certain moments with characters that are very, very visceral, and shots that definitely will linger with you long after the movie's done. And the fact that, again, it manages to accomplish those as well as it does is a testament to Eggers as a really great director. His supporting cast is once again really great. I'm so glad that Willem Dafoe seems to have become sort of his partner in crime when it comes to these things, because he is once again really great over here, and he does an incredible job as this someone who seems to know a lot about what's happening, you know, sort of embracing the idea that there is a lot of supernatural work at play over here and trying to manage the situation as best as he can, which is getting increasingly worse with the plagues that are descending upon, you know, or to come. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin, Ralph Ineson, all of them are also really good in the movie. I mean, there's really no bad performance, I would say. Everyone has done a really, really great job. And again, that is just a testament to Eggers as a director being able to get these really great performances out of his actors. I can't really think of too many negatives when it comes to Nosferatu. I think for this adaptation, what Eggers was working with and how he manages to take the material and give it, again, his own spin works very effectively for what you're seeing. And then eventually towards the end, it comes around as well as it can with one hell of a final shot. I mean, it's just sometimes you watch a movie like this and you really have to praise, you know, what some directors can do, and this is definitely one of those. Robert Eggers continues to impress me as a director. It probably won't work for everybody, which is similar to the other movies that he's made. Like, I have never come across anyone who was, you know, 100% on board with either The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman. And I guess I'll have conversations with people about this one, but I'm sure there's going to be some who don't, you know, like this either, which I completely get. He is one of those directors who is an acquired taste, and some people may not be on board with that. But if you are somebody who is sort of on that boat already, if you are somebody who really likes what Robert Eggers has been doing, then once again, you'll have a lot to appreciate over here. The production design, the way that it's edited, the cinematography, once again, just every single thing that's over here is as good as it can be. And I think it's a pretty terrific adaptation of Nosferatu, the Bram Stoker's Dracula. And honestly, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Really wish I'd seen this before I made my best movies list, because I had a feeling that it might end up if it was going to be there. In hindsight, would I add it? Absolutely. It absolutely would deserve to be up there. Really good movie. So this is obviously not the only movie I need to catch up on. There's a few more things, and I'm seeing a lot of those over the next, week or so. So there's going to be a bunch of reviews. Can't wait to share those with you guys. And thank you very much, as always, for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'm glad, I finally got to talk about this. I hope I delivered, on the patience over there. And thank you for waiting. If you were somebody who was waiting around for this video, I really appreciate it. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you very much once again, and I'll see you guys at the movies.